Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to The Final Score with Matthew and
Stevie Fly. What's up, guys? The Final Score is back on the air tonight. It is Thursday at 6:30, so you know it's time for the Final Score to come back at you again. And tonight, the episode is Free Agency Frenzy. And let me tell you guys this. Free agency started this week, and man, this is almost as good as watching the NFL draft. I mean, it's been a crazy week for a lot of moves. A lot of moves still going on. A shocker a few minutes ago was announced. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But with me, as always, down at the bottom, having a little seat at the top of the king's chair, Mr. Matthew Bazemore. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Stevie? I'm still looking for like one of those real intros. I want some background music when you announce me, kind of like when baseball players go to the home plate, the bat. You got an own intro song.
Didn't you make the music for this? Well, I mean, you can make your own music.
Yeah, but that's what. Okay, all right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So every time you announce me, I'll make my own, and everybody else will have one.
That's fine. I don't need
I won't
music.
be announced like
I don't
Stone
need.
Cold Steve Austin walking down the aisle or something.
Well, I'm gonna have Ric Flair's music playing. I'm gonna top all of them. And back again for the third week in a row. Bobby Boucher Jr. up there, Mr. Eric Sawyer. What's up, buddy?
Remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl? Do you?
Yeah, do you? Okay. Yeah, we got that out of there. Guys, I mean, first of all, before we get into football, wasn't there a big game Saturday night?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was.
What was the outcome of that game? I mean, did
Duke
Carolina
lost.
beat Duke? Oh my
I think
God!
Duke lost. Yeah.
Okay. I was just checking. Because
And another fact about that game, Duke didn't have the lead not one time. So I hear.
I haven't said one thing about that game because, you know, I mean, I know some guys have said some stuff about it, but, you know, proud of Carolina for that. I'm a Carolina basketball fan. But I got a feeling, you know, of course they destroyed Florida State today, but I don't think it's going to end up Carolina and Duke in the finals. I don't know about you guys. I think it's, you know, Carolina has a habit of playing well against Duke and all that, but Carolina can really suck it up when it comes to playing down to other teams' level. I mean, you look at the Clemson after they beat Duke last time. You look at what they did. Clemson comes in and beat them, and they don't play their best ball. But you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a long way till Sunday. Well, Saturday night, excuse me. It used to be Sunday.
It's like I always get nervous when we play during the week because during the week, these week games, we always come short for some reason. And it's kind of like that in the playoffs once it gets a little tighter. But I don't know. I think I'm hoping we go all the way.
That is a Bobby Boucher jersey right there. That's what Eric's got going on. Yeah, Mallory, go Noles. My daughter is a Florida State fan. All of a sudden, I mean, she started last year, but that didn't work out too well today, baby. I'm sorry, but
Mallory, you all right? You okay over there? You all right?
So,
you just want to talk to them. I'm always here.
Yeah, so the ACC tournament is in full swing now. It's just, I'm sorry, guys, it just ain't the same as it used to be to me. I've been saying this for a long time. I remember the days where everybody's first game was on Friday. It started at 12 o'clock. You were at school. They wheeled it. You either had the radio in there, or they pushed a TV in there or something. And pretty much all the teachers knew that day after lunchtime, you didn't do much. I mean, we really didn't that day. I guess all the teachers were basketball fans too, but yeah, it's just not the same. But I still pay attention to it. But I don't know. Let's get this out of the way. If UVA can blow out BC tonight, they may give Duke fits. Chris West, you guys know Chris West?
I believe so, but
Chris, this is your first time in here, first time comment. I know. Appreciate your comment. And you're right. I mean, you're right. If they can, they might give Duke fits. Virginia's got one of those defensive teams, and if that Filippone guy doesn't try to trip the whole team for whoever they play tonight for the NC State, they might can give them some fits. We'll see. What did you guys think about that?
I thought that was. I think that's just Grayson Allen Jr. I mean, he tried to trip the Wake Forest guy fan, and then he tried to trip Harrison Ingram, and he said he didn't mean to do it on purpose. Well, I've tripped people in my life, and it sure looked like he tried to trip him.
Well, here's my thing about that. Okay, let's say he does it on purpose. Do you guys think when a reporter comes up to him and ask him after the game, and they're talking about, maybe suspended for a game, you think he's going to say, yeah, I did it on purpose? Either way, do you think he's going to admit to a reporter that he did it on purpose?
No.
I wouldn't, even if I did do it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't.
Come on, Eric. He slipped. Yeah.
Oh, he slipped all right.
This has got to be Robbie Birdsong.
He slipped. He lost his mind.
Yeah, he really did. But yeah, that's Carolina gets the sweep over Duke this year. Hopefully, there's an ACC tournament championship coming. We'll see. Will they get a number 1 seed? If they get that, I don't know. They're saying Carolina gets a number 2 seed, but they're ranked number 4 in the nation right now. So I don't know.
I think if Carolina makes it to the ACC championship, and depending on the score of the ACC, win or lose, it depend. I would think it would depend on the score and who they lose to. Who they play against.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know. I think tonight with the Duke State game, it's the only night you'll ever see me cheer for State. I cheer for State. But as a Carolina fan, I do like DJ Burns, but he's just so he can't stay on the floor. He's so fat, to say the least.
That's a big dude. That is a big dude. Me and my mom were watching them play. Who did they beat the night before last?
They played Syracuse last night, and then
they beat the crap out of it. But they played somebody the night before. Whoever they played. Was it Boston College? No, it was Louisville.
That's right, Louisville. That's right.
Yeah, and God, I was like, that is a big dude. Yep, Chris West is saying right now it's between UNC and Tennessee for the last number 1 seed. Yeah, Tennessee has had a heck of a year, of course. Rick Barnes, former Clemson coach there, former Texas coach, and he would love to get that number 1 seed over Carolina. We're going to get into that, Robbie Birdsong. Can't wait to see our playmaker, long snapper, changing subject. Yeah, we're going to get into that in just a few seconds. Well, what else is there to talk about? You guys got anything else to talk about in the sports world besides the free agency before we get into that?
No, sir. I do want to talk to that Chris West guy. Tennessee is a good basketball team, though. They're good. They remind me a lot of Virginia, talking about being usually a strong defensive team. I watched a couple of their games. Tennessee looks really good.
Yeah, Tennessee does look really good.
And they're fast. They're really fast, too.
I'll tell you this, dude. Does anybody have anything for Houston? When you beat Kansas by 30 points, whew, that's impressive. But Houston and UConn are definitely at another level right now, and people are trying to get to that level. But there's a reason they call it March Madness. Anything can happen at any time, so you never know. You never know.
Indeed.
Yeah, we're gonna. Who is Facebook user? I thought it was Birdsong, but Birdsong's here. Who is the Facebook user? How about Kirk Cousins? That dude won the lottery with that. Yes, he did. We're going to get into that in just a few seconds. All right, so free agency started Monday. Oh, that's Brian Mueller. I'm sorry, bud. I should have known it was you. It come up as Facebook user. Free agency starts Monday. And, there's a lot of talk going around. Rumors flying everywhere, but some of it comes true, some of it doesn't. And some of the stuff you would have never thought in a million years happens. So I'm going to start off right away with something that happened with my team. We got Kenny Pickett there. There's a lot of talk about Mason Rudolph, but we end up getting the steal. I mean, I ain't gonna say the steal of free agency because it depends on what he does. But when you can get Russell Wilson, and granted he struggled in that system in Denver, I don't know how much he's got left in his tank. You can get a quarterback like that, and you're paying him a little over $1 million a year to be your quarterback and to come and compete with Kenny Pickett. Man, that's crazy. I don't know what else to say about that. Pretty much Denver is paying Russell Wilson to play quarterback for us because they take on a lot of his salary. I don't know what you guys think when you hear that about Russell Wilson coming to Pittsburgh.
I think it's smart on Pittsburgh. I think it's real smart. Now I know he was looking at going to the Giants too, but I didn't want him. If we did get him, it would have been the same reason why I think Pittsburgh went for him. You really ain't got to pay nothing. So if he's not good by the end of next year, you can just cut him. Ain't no problem.
Yeah, it's a 1-year contract. So
and you won't lose anything. And even if you re-sign him, I think can you re-sign him? How does that work?
You can re-sign him, but it's going to be a different contract. He's going to want more money, probably.
Yeah, but would that contract with Denver expire?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That contract with him will expire, and then we'll have to. He'll want a different contract and make be a lot more than $1 million. I grant you that.
But I'm sure.
Let's get to this right away while Chris West has made his comment. And as a Cowboys fan, I'm very disappointed with what they have not done. That is the key right there. I like that. Jerry is all talk. Pittsburgh got a good deal. Denver is paying his salary. Exactly. But the key part of that, Chris West made, and I'm hearing this from a lot of Cowboys fans, Robbie Birdsong, Eric, Gaddis Hodges, Brandon Bailey. What are they doing? They're not making any moves. They've lost stuff. Who's running the ball for Dallas next year? Jerry? I mean, okay. That's a good one. I just don't understand. I'm like you Cowboys fans. If I was a Cowboys fan, I would be really disappointed right now. And let's go straight to the Cowboys fan up there in the top corner. What are you feeling about how Dallas has not made any moves, really, except like Birdsong said, the long snapper that y'all really needed to get to the Super Bowl. Maybe that was the one they needed to put instead of Ezekiel in that last play. What are you thinking, Eric?
I don't know. I mean, I just sat back and realized, Cowboys only had $2.2 million in salary, which was like lowest, and I think they're 27th or 28th in the NFL, like having money. But they could restructure, from what I was hearing, because I try to keep up with Cowboys, that they could restructure a lot of contracts, to make these moves, and they're just not doing it. It's like you said, what is Jerry Jones doing? Is he sitting in a nursing home? I mean, we don't know what's going on with this dude, but I like the Kendricks pickup, and we re-signed one of our defensive backs back today, Jordan Lewis. But I mean, that's 3 moves. It's like Matthew's gonna love this. Every team in the NFC East got, not just a little better, way better with the pickups they got. And Dallas is just sitting back, as Jerry says, we're going all in. Well, if all in sitting back and watching other teams, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just wondering if is the Cowboys going to. I mean, maybe they're focused more on the draft, but I mean, since your cap space is so low, y'all
Well,
focus more on the draft.
yeah, I think I'm like Eric. They could have found a way to make cap room if they wanted somebody. I think I think you would have seen something get restructured. I think they thought they were the number one player in the Derrick Henry sweepstakes, and that didn't work out. And they would have probably made room for that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised by the inactivity of the Cowboys. Maybe that's the draft is what, but you could get your leader, your so-called leader, Dak, to restructure some of his contract. Because look, let me tell you, next year Michael's going to come asking for money. That's going to be a whopper there too, buddy. If y'all want to keep Michael,
Him and Lane.
did they tell Gallup he could be traded?
Yes, and to me, I don't even like talking about that because I got so mad when the Cowboys traded Amari Cooper for what was it, a 6th-round pick? I said that's probably the worst trade I think I've ever seen Dallas do as a Dallas fan. Like, how do you lose your number one receiver for a 6th-round pick? I mean, do we owe somebody something or what's going on?
I don't know, bud. I don't understand some of the stuff with the trades and stuff, how they value some of that stuff. Because Amari Cooper surely played better than a 6th-round draft pick for the Cleveland Browns this year. I mean,
Right.
that was a steal. Yeah, that's like Chris, you're done more restructured contracts. It happens all the time. Mahomes is getting ready to do a restructure of his contract to get more money. What it means to seek a trade. Explain what it means to seek a trade. Well, I guess he starts reaching that player who gets permission to seek a trade. His agent starts putting out feelers to different teams. It's kind of like what T. Higgins in Cincinnati. He wanted a trade. I think Tyler Boyd wants to trade. Tyler Boyd might be coming to Pittsburgh soon. You never know. I don't think Pittsburgh's through. This is really weird for Pittsburgh to be this active in free agency. They have never done it. Omar Khan is making moves. I mean, he sending people away that he doesn't want anymore, and getting people in. So we'll see how that goes. Let's go right down the list and some of these free agent signings, and I'll get you guys' opinions. We'll start at the quarterback. Kirk Cousins signed with the Atlanta Falcons, 4 years, $180 million. Now, let me tell you this. Kirk Cousins' agent has got to be brilliant. With these contracts that he's got over the years, Kirk Cousins, it should be set for life. Unless he just blows money left and right, he should be set for life. Yeah, Robbie Birdsong, good thing. Greatest agent ever. Yeah, he definitely needs to be on Kirk Cousins' Christmas card list for sure. How at this age, because he's in his 30s, coming off an Achilles injury, how do you get this kind of money?
Is it no different than Aaron Rodgers?
Desperate? What'd you say, Matthew?
It ain't much different than Aaron Rodgers.
No. I mean, but somebody made a good point to me today. The Falcons cut Matt Ryan at this age that Kirk Cousins is, and they pay Kirk Cousins $180 million at that age. So, and also, I don't know if you guys saw it, Desmond Ridder, who was one of the quarterbacks for the Falcons, gets sent to Arizona. He's traded to Arizona today. Brian Mullen saying the way Cousins squeals in the Netflix doc, there's no way he makes 4 years. So, I mean, as long as he gets that money, I think it's guaranteed too. He always gets guaranteed contracts. So, yeah.
Eric last week. My bad, Steve.
No, go ahead, bud.
I think Eric last week said something about Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta, where Arizona won. You said he'd be good for the system. Did you say that, Eric?
I think it was Atlanta he was talking about.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he would fit good in the Atlanta system. But what you paid him, I mean,
Yeah.
$100 million for. I mean, Brian Mullen said it right. I mean, they got a better chance of me playing 4 years for the Falcons than Kirk Cousins.
So you think about it, that's over $40 million a year. That's over $40 million a year for a guy coming off an Achilles injury in his mid 30s.
Well,
Make him one of the top 5 highest quarterbacks.
Yeah.
all right, let's talk one more thing before we get off Kirk Cousins and go to the next subject.
All right.
And people talk about the Prescott and the Lamar Jackson thing. How many playoff games has Kirk Cousins won?
It had been many, bud. You can count it on one hand. Each one won, exactly. Yeah. Hey, look, that's the way it seems to go, though, bud. I don't understand it because a lot of these quarterbacks that don't sniff a championship and get up there and begging for money, that just tells you how in demand the quarterback is. I mean, Chris West, you're 100% correct. It's head scratching how he keeps getting these contracts. It is. I mean, I don't. Maybe he knows some kind of Jedi mind tricks he's putting on these guys. He's like, "You will pay me $180 million," and they're doing it. I don't know. Maybe he's got the forces working with him. I don't know. It's unexplainable. Moving on, and this really got me because I've been hyping this guy up for a while, even though he's played with some teams that I really don't like. Baker Mayfield re-signs with Tampa Bay, 3 years, $100 million. I mean, will he probably play like crap this year? Maybe, but I think he got a bad rap for that 1 year in Cleveland when he had his shoulder hurt. We talked about that last week. Cleveland gave up on him after that 1 year. Where he had a shoulder harness on. He did that. What a lot of people didn't think. A lot of people had Tampa Bay probably at the bottom of the league after Tom Brady leaves, and he gets them to the playoffs and gets a playoff win over the Eagles. I think it was deserved. I like Baker. I saw an interview with him last night where he was talking about they really liked being in Tampa. They're getting ready to have their first kid. And this money would definitely come in handy for a kid right now. About $33 million a year. That's pretty good. But Baker Mayfield stays with Tampa. Yeah, and you're finding out all about that too, ain't you, bud?
Yeah, oh yeah. My wife went back to work this week too, so I'm starting to catch the struggle.
So what you guys think?
It's cool.
What do you guys think about Mayfield re-signing with Tampa?
You go first, Matthew.
All right. I think Tampa made a good decision. I think it's a little too much, but but anyway, I think Tampa made a good decision. I like Baker Mayfield. Always have, even when he was with Carolina. I think I saw a lot of potential in him. I still do.
I agree with Matthew on the, I'm glad he went back to Tampa. I think Baker Mayfield, it might be a little, I think he's the average good quarterback. I do. I'm at average at best. But when we talk Tampa Bay, when you think of worst division in football, who do you think of? I think it's
South.
Yes.
Definitely. It's been that way for a while.
Yes. And I say that, I feel like he got the money is what you said. Is him getting the playoff win over Philly. I mean, if he doesn't do that, it's kind of like every year, I feel like they should change the playoff format. That could be a thing we talk about another day.
Yeah.
But it's always really one like crappy division every year. Last year, like I said, last couple of years, it's been the NFC.
It's been, except for a few years, the NFC South has had some bad division. I mean, all the way around, the whole division was bad. I remember one year the Panthers won the NFC South with a losing record, got in the playoffs with a losing record. So, Chris West, you keep making. Gosh, Chris West is going to be the fan of the night right here. We're going to have a fan of the night. Chris West, you're making good points. Tampa is my sleeper team going in next year. Baker seems to have matured and finally figured it out. I've been saying, Chris, I don't know if you've been listening to us up here for a while. I've been saying that about Baker. Cleveland gave up on him too quick and decided to pay $245 million to a never mind. I'm not getting into that tonight. Anyway, moving down the list. We talked about Russell Wilson with the Steelers. Gardner Minshew signs with the Raiders. 2 years, $25 million. Garoppolo is gone from the Raiders. The Raiders got rid of a lot of people. Hunter Renfrow is gone, which I think somebody could pick him up and he would be a good pickup for somebody, among others. Jacoby Brissett goes back to New England. Jameis Winston goes to the Cleveland Browns, back up for the Cleveland Browns. After Jameis, I don't know if they sell crab legs in Cleveland. I don't know for sure. But I'm sure you could get a 5-finger discount on that. Tyrod Taylor signs with the Jets. Sam Darnold, Ghostbusters, signing with the Minnesota Vikings. Did you guys hear when the whole Russell Wilson signing happened? The Vikings actually made a strong trade proposal to the Steelers for Kenny Pickett. I was like, really? So I'm surprised Pittsburgh didn't say. Maybe maybe it's still time for Pickett. We'll see. But he's going to have competition in camp this year with Russell Wilson for sure.
When I think about the Pittsburgh situation, this might hurt your feelings, but Pickett's how many? He's been in the year just in the league 2 years.
Well, this will be his third year. So he started. He didn't start till over halfway through his first year, and probably sort of half of last year. So
he's given me what I seen of last season. He don't turn the ball over. He's like Brock Purdy, but he's giving me very game manager vibes. Like he's not going to go out there and go.
He's not going to air it out.
Russell Wilson, he's going to throw interceptions, but he's going to put points on the board too.
Yeah. And that's something you got to do. Brian Mullen talking about everybody chasing the next Mahomes/Allen quarterback position in the NFL has become insanely important. You're right about that. Moving on down the list, Drew Lock signs with the New York Giants. Okay, Matthew, there you go, buddy. That's your Super Bowl right there.
Yeah, right. Let me go back. You said Tyrod Taylor. He was our backup quarterback.
Oh yeah.
I like Tyrod Taylor. He's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league.
Wasn't he the one that ended Eli's streak? They started him and Eli sat the bench that day.
Yep, that was him. But I'm glad we did it because we can't afford. He got $9 million some dollars. We got Drew Lock for the veteran. The veteran cap. Was it 5 or was it 2?
No, it was 5. I'm looking at it right here.
Okay, yeah.
1 year, $5 million. So Mason Rudolph signs with the Titans 1 year. Josh Johnson re-signed with the Ravens. And this was a shocker that happened a couple of hours ago to me. Sam Howell traded from Washington to Seattle. And what they got, I had it up here a few minutes ago. Hold on, here we go. I don't understand it because it's not an advantage to anybody. He's on a rookie contract. The Seahawks get Howell, a 4th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick, while the Commanders receive a 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick. That's kind of evening out to me. There's no advantage to that trade. Except Seattle got an extra player. You're not doing it for cap reason. I don't know the reasoning behind this. I hope maybe it's something simple, but I don't know. We'll see.
Go ahead, Matthew.
No, that wasn't me. I didn't say
All right.
nothing.
No,
But
I'm good.
about the Washington thing, I hated as a Carolina fan. I hated that he got drafted by Washington because I don't want to cheer for him because he plays for a division rival. I can cheer for him a little bit because at least he plays in Seattle. But he has the same thing with the Giants with Daniel Jones, and I don't think Daniel Jones is that good, Matthew. We'll talk on that another day too. But I think
Wow.
Sam Howell is a good quarterback. But he played. The Redskins couldn't block. The lollipop kid from the Wizard of Oz.
Hey, don't offend these lollipop kids like that.
Well, the Redskins. What they can't.
Yeah, I mean, he was sacked so many times this year. He was on pace one time early in the year to break the record. I don't know if he ever got there or not, but yeah, it was pitiful.
He could take some hits. He's tough. I tell you that. It was good Lord.
So really three free agent quarterbacks out there remaining. Ryan Tannehill, Tyler Huntley, and Josh Dobbs remain unsigned right now. Let's get into running backs.
Oh Lord.
Start off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Saquon Barkley signs with the NFC East Philadelphia Eagles. What? I got to go straight to Matthew before anybody else talks. What is going through your head, Matthew?
Punch in the gut. I'm telling you, like, I was okay with him. Like, okay, I thought maybe, yeah, it's time to move on. He's 27 years old. We need to get a younger guy. We need somebody different. He can go to Houston. He can go to the Chargers. That's fine. The Philadelphia Eagles, however, no, you can't do that. Oh my God, it was punch in the gut, man. Um, I don't really know what to say about it other than that. I don't know if it was a spike or not, but at the same time, it's not his fault that the Giants wouldn't. Apparently, they didn't even try to negotiate with him this time, but they've already gave him 4 or 5 offers, and he didn't want it.
So
I don't know.
Robbie Birdsong is asking you, Matthew, why he hasn't played a full season yet. I think he did play a full season his rookie year, didn't he?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
He's injury prone, yeah. But we said why what?
Why are you upset because he hasn't played a full season yet?
I mean, because he gave up on, even though he played a full season, he was almost giving up 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, he's only one of our only offensive weapons we have. We always depended on him. We gave him the ball over 50 times in the game sometimes. And
so, Chris West makes a question for you guys right here. How many elite quarterbacks do we think there are in the league right now?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this Chris West guy. I don't know where he come from, but I like him. You need to come in here more often, Chris. So you got Mahomes, Josh Allen,
Joe Burrow.
Would you even put Aaron Rodgers in there anymore?
I still would. I would. That's my personal opinion, though.
At one time, I would. Not anymore.
I mean, that's a good question.
I watched Rodgers, what he's done to my Dallas Cowboys too many times.
Well, I mean, he's talking about right at this moment, though. I mean, after this season, how many do you think are in there?
Not even 5, but
who would be the other ones though? You got. Would you call Kirk Cousins an elite quarterback? No. I wouldn't. I wouldn't either. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's not I just don't see it. I'm sorry. That's my opinion, Birdsong. Your opinions, I value your opinion a lot, but I don't call Kirk Cousins an elite quarterback. I heard you might have been being sarcastic, but
I might get a lot of hate for this, especially if you're a Philly fan. I'm not saying it because I hate Philly. I don't think Jalen Hurts is either.
no, I don't put Jalen or Tua up there in the elite quarterback in the league.
Well, Reno, I hate to burst your bubble.
I know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'll go ahead and tell you this, Eric. He's an elite running back playing quarterback.
He's elite. He's an elite quarterback though.
But okay, let me ask you this. Hold on, though.
Oh yeah.
The same reason you don't put Kirk Cousins in that list. What's one of the reasons you don't put Kirk Cousins as an elite quarterback? Give me the reasons you don't put him as an elite quarterback.
Because the playoff wins. But look at the age difference. Let's look at that.
Hold though. Playoff. You said playoff wins.
All right.
How many playoff wins has Lamar had?
2. Is it 2?
2 in what? 5 years?
All right.
And how many times has he been number 1 seed, home field advantage to the playoffs? Twice.
That's just like if anybody wants to come up here, we can argue that with my team. Do not come up here and say Dak Prescott.
I don't consider Dak. I put Dak in the same boat as Lamar. I don't consider him an elite quarterback. I'm sorry. And it's not just because if he played for Pittsburgh and did the same thing he's done right now with Pittsburgh, I would not consider him an elite quarterback. I'm sorry.
Both of those guys are average.
Do you think he deserved the MVP this year?
No.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. You had quarterbacks better than Lamar. I mean, in big game situations. I just don't. It's not because he's a Raven. It's because I see you, just like you said with Kirk Cousins. He did playoff wins. Yeah, if he is so daggum great, he should have been to a Super Bowl by now. He's been to. Did he go to a championship game? Okay, was it this year? He went to a championship game.
Championship game this year when they played the East, and
that was the first time, and they were at home.
Yeah, they were at home because they won they had the divisional round and they won the divisional round.
Anybody remember the interception in the end zone when he threw into triple coverage? Does an elite quarterback do that?
Yeah, when he tried to Andrews.
All right, quarterback doesn't do that. I'm just saying.
I'm going to say this is an elite quarterback, and some people, he's still young. I think Herbert's an elite quarterback.
I think he can be. I think he can be.
I think he can be. I'm like Matthew. I think he can be. Not one quarterback was consistent. That's true, Robbie Bersong. That's true. Not one of the quarterback was consistent, but one quarterback got through the play. It was consistent when the time was right.
Right.
I mean, and that puts you in that elite category. I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm going to say this.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say this. I don't even know if Josh Allen might be falling off that list.
Well, he's coming close to it, I think. But
he is.
All right, here we go. Chris West said we're friends, but I have to look you up, bud. State's up 7-4 over Duke at the first TV timeout. I know Eric. If you guys see Eric up there glancing upwards, Eric's looking at the TV, keeping the score right now.
All right. That's what I'm doing, and we're talking football now. They said something before the game. We're talking free agents, and I didn't want to bring. It said developing story before the game started. Dak Prescott with sexual accusation.
Oh boy, he done been to the massage parlor. Watch out, him and Deshaun Watson. Oh boy, that wouldn't be good, dude. That would not be good.
I don't know if I think the baby's been born or he's got his wife or girlfriend has a child on the way.
But
looks like his check ain't gonna be restructured anytime soon.
I mean, if it gets to the point where it's making a major sports outlet like talking about it, then it might be something to it, but it may not be anything. You don't ever know. All right.
It's like the Tyreek Hill thing, but that's a little different.
Yeah, that's a little different. So Josh Jacobs goes from the Raiders to the Green Bay Packers. And I'm thinking then, okay, they're gonna have a good 1-2 punch. What's the kid's name from Green Bay? The other running. I know you know Eric because you saw him score touchdowns on Dallas over and over again in that play. Aaron Jones. I was like, that's gonna be a big, Green Bay. If they'd have kept them two together, I was like, Green Bay's gonna be hard to beat with them two guys in the backfield switching up. But then Aaron Jones gets cut, and he's ended up signed with the Vikings. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it was a cap move if they couldn't afford to keep them both, but if I could have, I would have kept both of those guys.
I'm going bold here, very bold. When you're talking about sleeper teams, Chris West said Tampa Bay, Green Bay might not consider them a sleeper. I still consider them a sleeper, but I have them going, believe it or not, to the NFC Championship next season. If everybody can stay healthy.
Right.
They are tough. They're
going to be tough. Jordan Love. I mean, if you think about it. If you had Jordan Love and then you had them two guys in the backfield, even with Jacobs now in the backfield, though, I mean, I really don't. I honestly think, and maybe it's just me, and I'll probably get some hate for this. I don't see where there's much of an improvement from what I saw when the way Aaron Jones ran the ball and where Josh Jacobs ran the ball. I may be wrong, but I just don't see it. So, Derrick Henry signs with the Baltimore Ravens, 2 years, $16 million. Ravens get their running back, team him up with Lamar. That's going to be a formidable backfield right there that you need to watch out for. Because really, they've done running back by committee in the past. And look, they may lose two of their running backs from last year. J.K. Dobbins still unsigned. Gus Edwards signs with the Chargers. So they had to get somebody in that backfield. But Derrick Henry signs with the Ravens. And then, go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, what I was going to say about that is, we talked about the AFC Championship last year with talking about, Lamar's favorite play, the read option.
Yeah.
With Derrick Henry back there, you could call that 20 to 25 times a game. At least. With Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. I mean, you're going to have to put 8 in the box to stop that.
Well, I'll tell you who is not getting mentioned, but he got hurt in early in the year for the Ravens, who I think is going to make a bigger difference than you think. That's freaking Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell is fast as lightning, and you put that guy back there with Lamar, and that's going to be something too. So you better watch out for the Ravens. To be the first quarterback to win MVP as a running back. I mean, yeah. Then we got Tony Pollard, ex-Cowboy now, signs with the Tennessee Titans, 3 years, $24 million. Eric, would the Cowboys have paid $8 million a year for Pollard?
No, and I don't blame. If that's the money he got, I hate to say, if anybody Tennessee Titan fans is watching this, you got screwed in that day. I think Tony Pollard's a good guy, and I think he's a pretty good running back, but he is not an every down back. He is not an every down back. I mean, if he didn't prove that last season, I mean, you go back and watch the tape. He's not. He barely got over 1,000 yards. Barely. I mean, and you talking about Dallas when they played Green Bay, trash points. A lot of the yardage he got was trash yardage.
Yeah. I agree. Moving down the list, Austin Eckler signs with the Commanders. Not a bad move by the Commanders. DeAndre Swift signs with the Bears. I haven't seen much that DeAndre Swift made. I mean, it's plays here and there, but I haven't seen a lot of consistency from DeAndre Swift. This is his third team now, I think he's played for. I forget. I mean, he played for the Lions, and he played. Who was he with before that?
Oh, he played with Philadelphia last year.
Yeah, he played with the Lions, and then Philadelphia. So this is his third team. So, Devin Singletary. What you think, Matthew? You got a new running back to replace Saquon.
I think it's a good. It's all right. I like Devin Singletary. He's a down the hill type kind of runner, good down the middle. Which I think we need a good guy that can run it down the middle. But I'm excited to see what goes on.
Yeah, that should be interesting to see. We talked about Gus Edwards signing with the Chargers. AJ Dillon re-signs with Tampa Bay. Zach Moss. This was weird to me, guys. So Zach Moss signs with the Bengals. And, I hadn't heard this at the time, but then I look up, before I'd heard all this, I look up and I see Joe Mixon is going to Houston. And I'm like, hold on a minute. What is Cincinnati thinking? They ain't got nobody to run the ball back there. And they're sending him to Houston. Something really must have happened between them to get that. But then I saw Moss sign. But Moss had his moments in Indianapolis, but is he? I saw Mixon got a contract, a new contract with the Texans today too. So the Texans are making moves, guys. You want to talk about sleeper? Watch out for Houston. Houston made some moves, buddy. We'll get into some more of that in just a little bit, but Houston made some big moves to try to help build on that playoff appearance this year with C.J. Stroud. Who's that? D'Antonio Gibson signs with the Patriots. DJ Dallas. I thought this was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince up here for a second. Signs with the Arizona Cardinals. I was like, I saw DJ Dallas. I said, who in the heck is this guy playing for Dallas? But not who we thought. DJ Dallas. All right. Getting into wide receiver role. Michael Pittman resigns with the Colts. Mike Evans resigns with the Buccaneers. Calvin Ridley with the Titans. Darnell Mooney with the Falcons. Gabe Davis leaves Buffalo for Jacksonville. Let's look down the list and see if anybody standing out right here. Deontay Johnson. Let's talk about Deontay Johnson. So, a lot of people have been talking for weeks here. Really? Oh, what was that?
Hats.
I was getting ready to say. So ever since the Cincinnati game last year where there was a fumble and Deontay Johnson kind of walked by it, saw it and walked by it, Cincinnati player picks it up and could have went all the way, but somebody from Pittsburgh actually stopped him, not because of Deontay. And the reports were there was an altercation in the tunnel at halftime between Deontay Johnson and Minkah Fitzpatrick. And things have kind of gone downhill with that, with him since then. So Omar Khan decided, you know what? His contract year is coming up next year. Instead of losing him and getting nothing for him, let's go ahead and trade him. Trade him to the Carolina Panthers. I forget what they got for him. They got some draft picks for him and a cornerback. It leaves to wonder what Pittsburgh's going to do for they're saying Pickens will move up to wide receiver 1, but you got to have somebody behind him. And there's a lot of talk about Pittsburgh making another move. I've been listening to a lot of Steelers podcasts this week, and a lot of these reporters that cover Pittsburgh are saying, don't be surprised if Pittsburgh makes another big move. They can restructure some contracts and they can get to where they're about $50 million over the cap and make a big move again. So I don't know. I think they might need to go after a wide receiver. I just don't know what they're going to get. But we need to get a wide receiver, at least a wide receiver 2 capability there. So Deontay goes to the Panthers.
I think that was a good move by the Panthers. Because last year, a lot of these, I hope it is some Panthers fans watching, because a lot of the guys, they gave Bryce Young pure hell. That guy was just like Sam Howell. He has no protection. He has Thielen to throw the ball to, but Thielen, God knows, how old is he? Give the guy some type of weapon to throw the ball to. He has nobody.
Yeah, true.
Now, Deontay Johnson, at least, somebody to throw the ball to.
Well, I'll tell you this. If Deontay plays like he did in Pittsburgh, I don't know if it'll be different with the weather in Carolina. He's got stone hands. He has the ability to have stone hands a lot of times. So we'll see. So Matthew, your Giants pick up a receiver, Isaiah McKenzie. What do you know about Isaiah McKenzie? I think Matthew's taking a break.
No, sorry about that.
Oh boy.
Isaiah McKenzie, I know he came from the Bills. I don't know why we signed him though. We have so many wide receiver threes already. That's just sitting there. To be honest with you, I kind of felt I don't know what the plan is, but I would have done it.
Right.
He's a wide receiver three. We need a wide receiver one. That's what we need. We don't need another wide receiver three.
Just glancing through the tight end group, Irv Smith Jr. signs with the Chiefs. That's kind of I guess that'll give a little bit of help to Travis. But they had another good tight end there. That guy, I can't remember what his name was. He made some good plays in the playoffs when I saw him, but I can't remember who he was.
Cameron Brate.
I don't know if that's who it was or not. Maybe that may be who it was. Hunter Henry re-signs with the Patriots. Dalton Schultz re-signs with the Texans. Austin Hooper, he signs with the Patriots. So they got two big tight ends there. Offensive tackle, there's still a lot of them left out there, so not really big. Center, Aaron Brewer signs with the Dolphins. Tyler Viatis. The Commanders raiding, and we'll get to that in a minute, raiding the Cowboys. Dan Quinn keeps getting a lot of Cowboys, and this is one of them he picks up.
The Washington Cowboys.
John Runyon at guard, he signs with he signs with the Giants, excuse me. So you guys got
first I was like, wow, but now it's starting to come together, and I like it. I like that.
All right, interior defensive line, of course, Chris Jones re-signs with the Chiefs. He said that at the parade. He wasn't going anywhere. Christian Wilkins, wow, from the Dolphins, signs with the Raiders. 4 years, $110 million.
Good Lord.
That's insane there. Looking through, let's see. Nothing. Edge defender Josh Allen, he gets franchise tagged by the Jaguars. Brian Burns traded from the Panthers to the Giants. Now this is where you Carolina fans out there, if I'm you guys, I'd be questioning my ownership or my GM. They had an offer on the table from the Rams for 2 first-round draft picks and turned it down for less to go to the Giants. I could see if that was the Cowboys, not the Cowboys. If it was somebody in their division, a big rival, because I don't really know if there's a big rival in the Falcons or somebody like that for the Panthers. Not doing it, but you get 2 first-round picks. Tell me about this. Both of you guys talk about this. You got a chance to get 2 first-round picks. You need draft picks. You need draft picks bad. As Carolina, you need to build up, and you turn it down. What the heck are they thinking?
I don't know, and as a Cowboys fan, I will say this back to the Giants. That was a great trade. I meant for the Giants to get Brian Burns. I thought that was a great pickup. I think they screwed up letting go of McKinney.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes to the Packers, but but you signed Burns. That's a great. He's one of the greatest defensive players in the NFL right now. So that was a great pickup. But like you said, very stupid. That was stupid on the Panthers' part. You went from getting Deontay Johnson, like I said, doing something good to turn around. Let's do something stupid now. We can get away with it.
Yep.
I like it because Brian Burns he's so versatile. He can do a little everything. He can play wide. Uh he can play short. So now he can be on the other side of Deontay Banks, which I love. I think Deontay Banks needs some help back on that end.
Okay. So let's see who's next. Danielle Hunter from the Vikings signs with the Texans, another big pickup for the Texans.
Yeah.
Leonard Floyd signs with the 49ers. Let's see. Brandon Graham re-signs with the Eagles. Looking. There's a lot of free agents, edge rushers out there. So linebacker, and this was surprising to me because I go in a lot of little Steeler like live chats and stuff like that, and one of the names that came up early in the week, a guy was like, Pittsburgh should sign Patrick Queen, and I was like, that'll never happen. Well, a day later, Pittsburgh signs Patrick Queen from the Ravens, 3 years, $41 million. Man, if he can play the way he did, of course he became expendable with Roquan Smith, signs with the Ravens, and he gets a big contract with the Ravens. He becomes expendable. But now, it falls right into our hands, and just very surprised because as a Steeler fan, Steelers aren't usually making splash moves in free agency. They usually make these moves that like under the radar moves that aren't really splash moves, but sometimes they work out better. Not as much here lately, but Omar Khan is making some moves, and like I said, I don't think he's through yet. Levante David re-signs with the Buccaneers. Bobby Wagner signs with the Commanders. And there's Dan Quinn getting another former defensive standout from the Legion of Boom, guy he's very familiar with, and a guy that, that's one thing that I can say about the Commanders on defense. They didn't have a leader. They had nobody to lead that defense. And if there's a better leader out there over the last 7 or 8 years on a defense, Bobby Wagner's one of them. He's near the end of his career. Probably not as explosive as he used to be, but I still think he can make a difference with that Commanders defense. Let's see who else we got here. I'm going down the list. Oh gosh, this was priceless here. This just happened today too. Former Steelers first round draft pick Devin Bush, of course, spent last year with Seattle. Signed with the Cleveland Browns. And let me tell you, Devin Bush has never got over that tearing that ACL in Pittsburgh. He became he wouldn't go to the ball. He became very tentative, and that didn't help. And that's why he was out at Pittsburgh. Cornerbacks. Jalen Johnson re-signs with the Bears. 4 years, $76 million. L'Jarius Sneed is franchised out there now. So there's still a lot of talk about some teams making an offer for him. Of course, that would cost them some draft picks. Looking here. Who's left up here? no really big moves up here. Kendall Fuller signs with the Dolphins from the Steelers. Safety Xavier McKinney signs with the Green Bay Packers. 4 years, $68 million. Gotta hurt. Matthew.
No, it did hurt. It did hurt. I was hoping we'll at least pick him or Saquon. If we won't go to Saquon, you better at least franchise tag him.
Yeah.
We can't put that money up for him. So
Yeah. Look. Go ahead, Matthew.
no, you're good.
Okay. Big blow to the Panthers defense right here, though. Jeremy Chin leaves Carolina, signs with the Washington Commanders. Jeremy Chin, I feel like, was one of the best defensive players besides Brian Burns that Carolina had. So that's two big players for Carolina on defense that they lost. And Jordan Poyer signs with the Dolphins. And, there's a lot of course, this is not all the moves that have been made. Just some of them we were wanting to pick out, and I'm looking team by team. Let me see. Has Dallas made any moves?
Dallas got Kendricks, and I think that was
Eric Kendricks, yeah.
But that was a great pickup because I said, and Dallas needs to also, we're on the running back. Yeah, we don't have nobody to run the ball. That is very true. But Dallas's problem has been stopping the run. And Van Der Esch, he can't stay healthy. And we needed a linebacker, and Dallas needs to get a gargantuan or somebody at defensive tackles, which I think Hankins does a good job when he gets in, but he stays hurt a lot. But Dallas needs a big defense a run stopper. You need somebody to fill that gap, fill that hole.
Well, Eric, as a Cowboys fan,
right,
and you heard Jerry Jones say before the offseason started, we're going all in. And you talked about the cap space and stuff like that, but Jerry had to know how much cap space he had and what kind of moves he could make. Is this version of all in is pretty much crap to me. I don't know about you as a Cowboys, but this is crap. I'm looking at what y'all have picked up so far. Y'all have re-signed 4 players and then signed Kendricks.
Yep, that's it. But this is what I say. It's not. He says every year we're going all in. Well, Cowboys been going on 30 years of not even making it to an NFC Championship game, and it upsets me because I'm about to be 31 years old. But the Cowboys, like I said, they've never made it to the NFC Championship, and every year you want to go all in. Well, the last 3 years we went 12-5. Stevie, Matthew, that's a good record. But we cannot do nothing in the playoffs. When you play, as people say, it's the truth. Dallas plays, it feels like when the schedule comes out, or I'm not even saying when the schedule comes out. As the schedule goes on, 9 times out of 10, the Cowboys schedule gets easier. Which the Cowboys schedule last year at the end was tough.
Yeah.
But I just really want to see them make the NFC Championship. And it's every year you're 1 or 2 players. I say this year we were 1 or 2 players away from at least making it to an NFC Championship. And now you're going backwards. How you going all in and you're going backwards? What are we going all in reverse?
I agree, bud. I agree. You ain't getting me to disagree with you. Just looking through right quick before we get out of here. It's been a crazy week so far, and I still don't think it's over. I still think you're going to have. I'm looking right now. Okay. Woman says Prescott sexually assaulted her. Quarterback claims extortion. Oh boy, that's not what you need to see right now. And look, it could be that. It could be extortion. But the fact, and I'm sure this goes on more than we hear about, but the fact that it's making news, like news organizations like this, the score I'm looking at right now, it has to have a little bit of smoke to it. I'd say right now there's a little bit of smoke, but maybe it's nothing. I mean, you always and look, the first thing people think when they hear these athletes like that is first thing they always think they're guilty. But you got to realize too, these guys are targets sometimes too. You got all that money, but we'll see. Just like I said about free agency, Eric Armstead from the 49ers, just released by the 49ers this week, just signed a 3-year, $51 million deal with Jacksonville Jaguars. So, and let's talk about this. So Matthew, I know Matthew had posted on his Facebook like this. There's a report that the Saquon Barkley and Kirk Cousins deals both are being investigated for tampering. Let's see. NFL has investigated potential tampering by the Eagles and Falcons related to free agent signings of Barkley and Cousins. The Eagles denied being involved in illegal tampering after allegations surfaced that General Manager Howie Roseman personally met with Saquon Barkley during the negotiation window, which is not permitted to players not representing himself. The Giants did not contact the lead regarding the matter. Oh, you're right. Maybe it was somebody that worked for the Giants and said, hey, guess what? They met. Especially being a rival in the NFC East.
Actually, I heard it was somebody from Penn State.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody from Penn State that Saquon was talking to, and he blew the whistle, saying, "Hey, Saquon, what's his name? Roseman?
Howie
Roseman.
Howie, yeah. He called Saquon on the phone, and they talked and then met up. And Saquon told him, this whistleblower, I guess you can call him, from Penn State, and Roseman was like, well, you get to be, back in Pennsylvania with your college and get get closer to them, and so that's what I heard.
So
I can see that.
As far as Cousins goes, Cousins admitted that he spoke with the Falcons athletic trainers on Tuesday regarding the progress of his surgically repaired Achilles tendon, which ended his 2023 campaign. Teams can only make contact with a player's agent during the 2-day negotiating window, which began at 12 p.m. on Monday. So, that he said that at a press conference. He said, there's great people here, and it's not just a football team. I mean, I'm looking at the support staff. Meeting Colin yesterday, calling our head athletic trainer, talking to our head PR. I'm thinking we got good people here. So Cousins pretty much told on himself. I don't think he understood the rules, evidently. But yeah. And guys, this is just the start of the NFL season. I mean, the NFL calendar year, I think, started yesterday. Wednesday was the calendar year as far as it goes. So now, what's the score, Eric?
It's 9-28 State.
Okay.
But I'm like you. Sorry, Steve. But
go ahead.
Is that you talking about the NFL? I mean, you don't even. I mean, we ain't even got to the draft yet. What type of trades you gonna see right before the draft?
Yeah. You look, hey guys, we need to start working. Of course, I'm going to work and get Gaddis on here. We always do our mock drafts, so you guys need to be thinking about that. First round of the draft. See who you pick the first round of the draft. Matthew did it last year. I think Matthew had a good time with it, and Matthew told me last year, I have never done one of these before, so I'm not going to be any good at it. Well, guess what? Every year, and I told you this last year, every year, if you get the top 2 right, after that, if one pick goes the wrong way, what you picked, then it's screwed up. It's just like picking the NCAA tournament. If you get one higher seed that you pick to go all the way through that gets upset, it screws everything up. So, but the draft is even harder. I forgot how many it was that Gaddis got right. I think it was 7 Gaddis got right one year in the first round, and that was nobody's come close to that since. So get you.
I think I ended up getting 3 right.
Yeah, I don't think I got more than I think I got like 4 right last year in the whole first round. I had 32 picks. I got 4 right. So, I mean, it is what it is, guys. That's our goal is to try to see if we can get 7. So, be working on that. Be thinking about that. Any last words before we get out of here, Matthew?
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up last week, but when we were talking about the Super Bowl, excuse me, did you hear after the game that San Francisco wasn't aware of the overtime rules?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
What do y'all think? I mean, super sure he knew the rules when he came in, but
Did
what
you
if
know
they
the
didn't?
rules?
I mean,
Did you know the rules,
well,
Matthew?
no, I didn't. But I'm also not in
I'm
charge
not.
of
I'm
the.
not saying that smart. I didn't know the rules either. I didn't know that rule
Yeah,
either. But
see, that's my point.
as a NFL organization, as a coach, yeah, you might want to know that before you go into a playoff game, and it might be going in overtime.
Yeah, that's my. That was my point. I might not
Kyle
know it. You
Shanahan.
might not know it. Eric might not know it, but we're also not coaches. We're not head coaches. So I
Exactly.
mean,
That's what I
not
say.
in the NFL at least. But
You didn't
yeah, that could be a problem.
you didn't hear Matthew? Me and Eric got an offer from the Giants.
I'm cool with that. Actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Eric hated the Giants. He's 31 years old. He's been hating the
Eric
Giants
turned him
for 30
down.
years.
Eric turned him down. Said he wasn't gonna wear that crap.
Yeah, they offered me to be the run game coordinator. I said I'll turn that down.
You should have. You know what you should have done? You should have said, "I'll take it," and then screw it all up.
Make them lose worse to Dallas than they are every year.
Yeah,
Well,
that ain't gonna happen much. That ain't gonna happen much longer, buddy.
let me tell you, Eric. Well, before we do that, Eric, you got any last words while you?
Well, Duke now has got the lead up by 2 with going about a minute left in the first half. But I hope State can pull it out. But like I said, man, I really appreciate y'all. Like I said, this is my 3rd time up here, and I flat out enjoyed myself. And it helps me out a lot just to come up here and talk football. All types of sports. But
Yeah.
I love it, and I really appreciate y'all letting me come up here and join y'all on this show. So I really appreciate that.
Now, next week, we will have to do a little bit later if we're going to do it on Thursday. I've got an appointment at 6 o'clock. So if y'all want to do it next week a little bit later, I don't know if y'all were able to do that or not, or we can do it another night. We'll talk about that. But yeah, Eric, you're more than welcome anytime. I hope you'll be a regular in here every week. Me and Matthew enjoy it. You bring you bring a little spunk to us, give us a little excitement in here, especially when you start off with the whole.
But I got one rule though. If you want to hear, I don't like rules, but I don't follow them. But you need to follow this one. You can do all the Bobby Boucher stuff you want, but at the end, don't you end every episode? How about them Cowboys?
Well, I can go ahead and tell you, Matthew, that rule ain't gonna get ain't gonna abide by that because I guarantee that's coming as soon as we get out of here.
I know. Anyway, I'm just waiting for it.
Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this week on the Final Score. You guys be sure to check us out, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, and on the YouTube channels. Eric is itching to get out of them right now. I can tell he's getting his mouth ready up here, Matthew. You have to see it. I'm going to end up ending it before he can get it out, too. You watch. Here we go. We're going live. Bye. Anyway, but you guys, thank you so much. Chris, Brian, Robbie, everybody that chimed in. I have to give Chris West, the Mallory. I have to tell you too. Chris West, definitely enjoyed you being in here, bud. I always enjoy everybody, but Chris West was the first time I remember seeing you in here. Some good questions and good points from Chris. But guys, that's going to do it for this week. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, fuck them Cowboys!
Oh, the
Now can
final.
now can I flush the toilet?
No, you're gonna have that here in the can. Anyway, you guys have a great. We'll see you next week.